Hey, good morning. Welcome to Felixstowe Live's Strictly Local Live. This is a bit of a kind of ad hoc one, really, because the way that the week has gone with the bank holiday and things has kind of thrown me completely off my normal kind of routine. So we did one live on Tuesday, doing another little brief one today to catch up on some stuff, and then we're doing another one as normal tomorrow. So that will be falling back into proper format for next week, which will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So there you have what we're doing next week on Felixstowe. Strictly live, local. Strictly local, live. Say it how you like. Okay. So what are we doing this morning? We'll do our usual bit, I think, which is our shipping forecast for the day. That's what's coming and going at the Port of Felixstowe. If you're down there around lunchtime, you will see some interesting ship movements. So that's worth knowing, isn't it? I guess you'd say. Okay, so that's that one. Then we have the tidal situation, what's happening with our local tides. So we've had low water about an hour ago, got high water coming up at 3 o'clock. Not a high tide, it's a neap tide. So it's only 3.51 meters. So it's not a very high tide, no problems. None at all, actually. It's just very straightforward, isn't it? So there you go for that one. And then here's the mighty BBC weather forecast, which says it's going to be 17 or 18 degrees today. Wow. Now, I like that a lot, don't you? Really nice idea. Let's have 17 or 18 degrees anytime we can get it. Okay, so let's get shot of that and just go on and have a look and see who's out there this morning. Well, we've got, as usual, young Brian. Good Lord, Brian. There you go. Morning. Hope you're keeping well. Alida, we've got you there. And we've got Gundala coming over from Germany. And Rachel, good morning to you. So there you go. We've already got a nice little audience of people here out there giving us a wave. Lovely to see you. And I'm glad to see your... Oh, I see. Interesting. It's an odd one, isn't it? We do get some funny old stuff come up on Facebook, don't we? So what have we got? Ridiculous on one of our Facebook pages, but who knows? I have to tell you. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm sorry about that, folks. I just had to go and look at a page which said ridiculous, and that was about the story that we did last week, I think, about the beach huts being for sale for 70 grand. I think one of them, the one that's actually on the beach, has just sold. I'm not sure how much it went for, but I imagine it went for 70 grand. There you go. And then good morning, Chris Sharkey. Hope you're well. And good morning to you, Nigel. My goodness, over there in Manningtree. Hope you're well too. So what are we going to talk about today? There is actually, tell me something. I've got an angry face from someone called Gareth. Tell me what you're angry about, Gareth. And then we'll go back to our story of the day, really, which is the one that we wanted to talk about. And this is the main reason for doing this clip at this time. We had a lot of kind of feedback on this, and this was, I guess you would say, it was really to do with the thing that came up a week or two ago, talking about the camper vans that we get on the seafront. I don't think they're a big problem during the day, but a lot of people think it's a pain to have them there literally 24/7. And I think the mayor brought this one up ages ago to see what kind of response we got. He got an interesting response, because what happened over that long 4-day weekend was that the camper vans, there was about 30 odd camper vans there, and those camper vans actually were on that area, on that road, right against the prom, right against the shore, most of them with the wheels up on the curb, for the whole weekend. Many of them turned up on the Thursday night with their Friday night, Saturday night, etc. And it got to a lot of people, not because the camper vans were on the seafront, but it got to a lot of people because the camper vans were essentially using the seafront as a campsite. And the mayor wondered what was going on with it. So what he did was actually ask people and tried to put out some sort of story. I think his story got quite misinterpreted by the local paper, by the East Anglian and the Evening Star, who then started chasing back, saying the mayor has pledged to change things. Well, he hasn't really. He didn't really. What he actually said was, can we look at it and talk about it and see where we go with it? And I think that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do, to say. I'm sorry about this. I'm just jiggling about. But he tried to raise the subject, and it was discussed yesterday at the council meeting. The council's planning meeting had a long discussion. They were there for 2 hours talking about this one. And what happened was that essentially the council looked at the different methods they could apply to stopping people using that area as a campsite and actually make it work better for everybody who wants to go, so that everybody has a crack of the whip at that area on the seafront. The story that was originally told was around 30 or something camper vans and caravans, motorhomes, well, camper vans and motorhomes were on that bit of front for the whole period, day and night. And because they did that, they stopped everybody else going on that area. And maybe all the other camper van drivers who come to Felixstowe would have liked to have been there. But they couldn't go there because it was full of camper vans that were using it as a campsite. What do you think? I think it's a really interesting one. I think it's it's just doing it for free. And yeah, I think that's about right, actually. I think there should be no overnight stay in camper vans or motorhomes on that portion of the road. And if someone happens to get down there at, say, 8 o'clock in the morning when they are allowed to park there, then maybe that should be the right way to do it. I don't know what you think. I think people will say, oh, it's all leave people to do what they like. Well, the reality is most camper van owners and motorhome owners, in my experience, don't spend a lot locally in the UK. Most people take their food and drink with them, and then they go and maybe have a walk around, buy a few bits and pieces, who knows? But in general, they're not big spenders in the locality. Now, you may say, oh, we all go and spend, and I say to you, rubbish. I spent about 6 years as a caravan and motorhome journalist making a TV program about caravanning and motorhoming, and I know a lot of people who have camper vans and motorhomes, and they don't go and spend money in the locality. They do more in France, to be honest with you, because it's seen as a food experience and it's seen as an interesting topic. But I'm not going to get into a big argument about this. Do bear in mind, I'm just trying to tell you what the council said. And what the council said was they had a discussion about methods of control, i.e. by bylaws and things like that. And they asked the East Suffolk Council and the Suffolk County Council roads and parking specialists to look at the situation and come up with some answers. And then they went on and had a general discussion. And the point I think all of the councillors made, and I would make as well, is that no one's trying to demonise camper van and motorhome owners. What we're trying to do is come up with, or what they're trying to do, should I say, is come up with a reasonable solution that will allow everybody a fair crack of the whip at that little bit of the road. And I'll show you where that bit of the road particularly is. Here it is. We're looking at it now. So that bit of yesterday, it was windswept and disgusting. There you go. And if from my point of view, I'd say purely personally, this is really just me talking here, guys. If you look at this piece of road, it's right on top of the sea. Lots of people would like to park there. And a little group of people who come and, let's say the words, come and literally take it over for the whole weekend is not really on. I don't think that's fair to anybody. We also had some interesting comments from other people about where other people park camper vans. And there was someone who told us that, or told the meeting that there was a one particular caravan that spends months here down on Sea Road, and that's an interesting one as well. We will find out about that, and if that happens again this year, we'll report it and you can see what you think. So there you go. So what we've got is a situation in which the town council, let me make this very clear to you, our dear town councillors, there they are sitting at the meeting, our town councillors do not have the power to change anything regarding the parking here. The parking is in the hands of Suffolk County Council, and East Suffolk Council also has an input into it. And the reality of that, both of those situations, is that Felixstowe Town Council can ask them to look at it and suggest a way of dealing with it. And that's what we've got at the moment. So we don't have anything major changing. But I think if we get the same situation where camper vans come down and stay overnight for a long period, 3 or 4 days, then I think something will happen to change that. There you go. That's the by and large answer to it. Purely personally, I think doing something about the overnight situation, camping and turning our roads into a campsite, is that effective? Is that sensible? I don't know. I don't think so. And I think something maybe needs to be done. But the council seems to have a very good pragmatic view. They are going to look at it. They're going to look at what can be done. They're going to get some consultation going. And hopefully they'll come up with a reasonable response to it all. So there you go. I've got my views. You've got yours. Don't argue with me because I'll just get annoyed. I'm not intending to change anybody's view, let me say hurriedly. My viewpoint really is that if we can come to some sort of reasonable arrangement so that the council does some action that stops people treating this as a campsite and gives lots of people a fair crack of the whip, then we'll have a result. There you go. I'm Chris. This is Felixstowe Live. I'll see you soon when I press the button. Okay. Take care now.